Namaste everybody, I'm David Breen from Sharing Yoga and RealLiveYoga.com. Welcome back to another live streaming class live from Bangkok, Thailand. So we are stuck in our apartment for a few days, so we thought we would take advantage and do some classes, and I hope everything comes out great. So what I'd like to do today is we're going to start in child's pose, and we're going to take some different variations on sun salutations and kind of weave that into a little bit of a longer sequence. So go ahead and come down onto the hands and knees to begin, then come back into child's pose and relax. So you can have your knees close together or far apart. Your feet can come toward each other if that feels okay. The head begins to move down toward the floor. If it doesn't make it toward the floor, don't worry, just relax. Turn your attention to your breath now, and not so much deepen your breath, but just become a little bit more aware of it. And then we'll come up onto the hands and knees. And set the hands about mat width apart, point the toes down into the floor, and come up and back into down dog. And when you get in this first down dog, feel free to just move back and forth, or maybe twist side to side a little bit. You can bend your knees one at a time. You get a feeling of how your downward facing dog feels today. And then right back down onto the knees and right back into child's pose and relax. And then we'll come back up onto the hands and knees and right back into down dog again. And this time in down dog, just allow your heels to relax toward the floor. The knees are still bent perhaps. Maybe moving your head around a little bit. Nodding yes. And then no. And then right back down into child's pose and relax. And then right back up onto the hands and knees. So this time we'll come up and back into down dog, and what I'd like you to do is straighten your legs and then just move the upper body back and forth a little bit. So as you keep those legs straight, there's just a little bit of a subtle movement of bringing the shoulders forward and then pressing the hips back, and then shoulders forward and then hips back. Now you're going to come back down onto the knees. This time bring the knees together and the feet together, and we'll sit back toward the heels. We'll use the time here to work with a little bit of cat and cow stretch to wake up the spine a little bit more. So you're going to inhale, look up, and arch the back. And then as you exhale, drop the head, drop the chin toward the chest, round the back, and lean back a little bit. And inhale, come forward and up. Exhale, drop the head, round the back, and lean back. Inhale, come forward and up. Exhale, back. Inhaling. Exhaling. And we'll come back to neutral, bring the hands forward, and come up and back into downward facing dog again. So that same rocking motion again. You'll lock the legs out straight. You might look forward toward the hands. Bring the shoulders forward, maybe till they're right over the wrist this time, and then press back. Legs are staying straight the entire time, and you'll begin to feel that stretch in some different areas perhaps. If you're tight in your calf muscles, you'll really begin to feel it here in the calf muscles. And then we come back down onto the knees, knees together, feet together, sit back into hero pose. So here we're stretching and counter stretching the muscles of the lower leg. When we're in down dog, doing that rocking forward and back, that's going to stretch the calf muscles. When we sit back in hero pose, that's going to stretch the tibialis anterior, which are on the opposite side of the calf muscles. And now we'll come up one more time into down dog. And we'll keep a stationary down dog here with the legs straight and just focusing on gently, subtly, pressing the hips back a little bit more. And then go ahead and bend your knees and look forward. Walk your feet forward now toward the front of your mat so the feet are hip width apart. Knees are bent a little bit. Relax your arms and then relax the head and neck. Consider shifting some of that weight forward out of the heels into the balls of the feet. Take a deeper breath in. Deeper breath out. Bring your hands to your hips and then inhale, slowly come up. Knees are bent. And exhale here. Relax the arms alongside the body. Close the eyes for a moment. Take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, relax. And we'll open up the eyes. Shake the hands out a little bit. So we'll begin to go through a little bit of a flow here, and we'll add some poses in, and then maybe take the poses a little bit deeper. So with the feet hip width apart, interlace your fingers, arms come up overhead. Tighten up your thighs and tighten up your glutes, and press the hips forward just a little bit and arch the back just a little bit, little tiny bit of a back bend. Feet are pressing down to the floor, and then lengthen up a little bit. Inhale. Exhale, come forward and down all the way down. So you're going to point your fingertips toward the floor, tuck your chin towards your chest, and breathe deep. And inhale, look forward. As you exhale, step the left leg back and drop the left knee down to the floor. Interlace the fingers, bring the arms up overhead. Lengthen up here, so the fingers, the index fingers are pointed up and lifting up, and then you press the hips forward a little bit and arch it back a little bit. Find your breath here in the pose. If you're wobbly, just take your right foot and walk it to the right a little bit. That'll stabilize the pose a little bit more. And then you're going to release the hands and step back into plank pose. Look forward. Lower all the way down. Point the toes back toward the wall behind you, and then just come up into a little bit of a cobra. Tighten up the thighs, feet stay on the floor. And then relax the legs, come to hands and knees, push back into child's pose. Take a breath here. Back to hands and knees, and then into downward facing dog. In this downward facing dog, legs are straight, and then you're gently pressing the hips back. And then bend your knees and look forward. Step the left foot forward. Drop the right knee to the floor. Interlace the fingers. Arms come up overhead. Lengthen up first. Press the hips forward a little bit. Arch back just a little bit and breathe. Release the hands to the floor. Step back. Plank pose. Hold here for one extra breath. Lower all the way down. Point the toes back toward the wall behind you. Tighten up your thighs. Feet stay on the floor. And chin, chest, and shoulders come up just a little bit. Relax the legs. Hands and knees next. Back to child's pose. Back to hands and knees, right back into down dog.
Legs are straight. This time try to engage your thigh muscles and press the hips back just a tiny bit more. And now bend the knees and look forward. Inhale, walk the feet forward. Feet are hip width. Fingertips point toward the floor. Chin tucks in toward the chest. And inhale, sweep the arms out in front and up overhead.
Bring the palms together, lower the palms right down to the heart center. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, relax. Interlace the fingers, bring the arms up overhead. Lengthen up through the entire body here. Tighten up the thighs and glutes, press the hips forward. Nice little back bend again, but don't force it, it's just subtle. It's important to keep the lower half of the body engaged as you arch back. Inhale, exhale, fold forward and down.
So again, fingertips point straight down, tuck the chin toward the chest. This time, try to straighten your legs as best you can, and then shift some of the weight forward. Not so your heels lift up, but just so there's a little bit more pressure in the front part of the feet. Inhale, look forward a little bit, and as you exhale, step the right leg back this time, right knee down to the floor.
Interlace the fingers, arms come up overhead. Lift up, press forward a little bit, arch back just a little bit. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Release the hands to the floor.
Step back into a high push-up and pause. A little bend in both the elbows, engage the thighs for a moment, look forward. Now, drop to the knees, come back into child's pose. One breath here. Raise your gaze and look forward, come forward onto the hands and knees. Shift the hips and pelvis forward and we'll come into upward facing dog. So elbows are bent, draw the shoulder blades toward each other, look up. And then to hands and knees, point the toes, up and back into down dog. Legs are straight, thighs are engaged. Gently press the hips back. And then bend your knees and look forward. Step your right foot forward, left knee to the floor.
Interlace the fingers, arms come up. Lengthen up, press forward, arch back. Focusing on your breath. Deep breath comes into the body. Deep breath out of the body. Release the hands.
Step back into plank. Little bend in the elbows, look forward, tighten up the thighs. Drop the knees, back into child's pose. Relax for one breath. Look forward, hands and knees, and come into upward facing dog. Hands and knees, point the toes, up and back into downward facing dog. And then you're going to bend the knees and look forward. Walk the feet forward again. Feet are hip width apart at the front of the mat. And then back into that forward bend. So if at some point you find that your fingertips are near the floor and you can press them into the floor gently and then relax the head and then try to straighten the legs a little bit. Get a little bit more of an intense stretch in the hamstrings and calf muscles. And then from here you can try to shift some of that weight from the heels to the balls of the feet. It's just a subtle little adjustment. Long, slow inhale. Long, slow exhale. And then inhale, sweep the arms out in front and up overhead.
Hands come together, lower the palms down to heart center. So we'll close the eyes for a moment, press the palms together at your heart center. Take a long, slow inhale, followed by a long, slow exhale. And then we'll open the eyes up, drop the arms alongside the body. Now bring the feet close together as you can get them. Interlace the fingers again, and bring the arms up overhead. So once you've stretched out nice and long here, engage your thighs and then lean over to the right hand side for side stretch. Think about the length that you can create in your body. So it's not so much about how far you can lean over toward the right, but can you keep the legs straight, press the soles of the feet into the floor, and then stretch both arms out lengthwise. Breathing deep into the left side of the body. Back to center, stay nice and long, and then over toward the opposite side. And then back to center. Inhale here. Exhale, fold forward and down.
Now when you get into the forward bend this time, take the hands around to the back of the calf muscles. They can be up high or down low depending on how your flexibility is today. And then relax your head. Little by little, you're going to try to straighten your legs and then press the hands into your calf muscles, and at the same time press the calf muscles back into your hands with the same amount of effort. But let that effort just be a little bit. You don't want to force anything here. Inhale, look forward a little. Exhale, release the hands. Step back into a high push-up now. So the shoulders will be directly over the wrists, the elbows are bent a little bit, look forward, engage your thighs, lift your right toes up off the ground just an inch. And then right toes come back down, left toes come up just an inch. And then drop the left toes. Now, keep the thighs engaged, keep your gaze forward, lower down. Point the toes back toward the wall behind you and begin to come up into upward facing dog or cobra, your choice. If you're coming into upward facing dog again and you're warmed up enough, you want to begin to support the weight of the body on the palms of the hands and the tops of the feet. So you can lift your legs, knees up off the ground, let's say knees and thighs. Engage your thighs and engage your glutes, and then arch back a little bit more. And then drop the knees back into child's pose. Give your wrists a little bit of a break for 2 breaths. Lift the head and look forward. Come up onto the hands and knees, and then back into down dog. So in this down dog, a little bit of a shorter stance. Just walk those toes forward about an inch or so. Straighten the legs, engage the thighs, and then press the hips back a little bit more. And then bend the knees and look forward. Step your right foot forward. Drop your left knee down to the floor again. Interlace the fingers and bring the arms up overhead. So we'll take this knee down lunge a little bit further. Once you've got your alignment in the pose and you're stretched out, gently begin to press the top of the left foot, so that's the back foot, down into your mat with a little bit more pressure, a little bit more effort. And then press the sole of the front foot down into the mat. And breathe. And then hands are going to come down to heart center. Take the left elbow to the outside of the right knee, and then align your right knee so it's directly over your right ankle, and then begin to twist a little bit toward the right hand side. And then release the hands to the floor. Step back into plank pose. Look forward, lower down. Inhale, press up. Exhale to down dog. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Unlock the knees and look forward. Left foot forward. Right knee to the floor. Interlace the fingers. Arms come up. Once you're into position, you're satisfied with your variation of the pose. Begin to press the back foot, the right foot, down into the floor. And begin to press the sole of the front foot, the left foot, down into the floor. Pose becomes a little bit more active. Hands come down to heart center. The right elbow to the outside of the left knee for the twist. Make sure that that left knee is aligned right on top of the left ankle before you start the twist. And then you're going to release the hands down, step back into a high push-up, look forward, lower down, inhale to upward facing dog or cobra, exhale back into down dog. Bend your knees and look forward. Inhale, walk the feet forward, feet will be together again toward the top of your space. Fold and relax. And take the hands around the back again, around the back of the calf muscles. Press the hands into the calf muscles, press the calf muscles back into the hands. Head is relaxed. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, release the arms. Inhale, swoop the arms up overhead. Exhale the hands right down to the heart center. Take a deep breath in and deep breath out. Now we'll step the feet hip width apart again. And then step the left foot back, bend the right knee, and bring the arms up into Warrior One. So you tighten up that left thigh muscle, straighten the left leg and tighten up the left thigh muscle. Keep it engaged and keep the left foot pressing flat into the floor and bend into your right knee a little bit more. Now inhale, straighten the right leg. Bring the arms around back and grab onto opposite forearms. Press the soles of the feet down into the floor and ease yourself out over that right leg a little bit. And then inhale, come back up. Bend back into the right knee, arms come back up into Warrior One. Hands come down to heart center now. Keep the back leg engaged, the left leg engaged. Bring the left elbow toward the outside of the right knee for a twist. Before you begin to twist, make sure the right knee is directly over the right ankle and that the back foot is flat, and then twist and turn and breathe. If you're being challenged, if your balance is being challenged here, drop the gaze down to the floor. That should help stabilize the pose. If you're bored, look up toward the ceiling. Inhale, come back up into Warrior One. Take a deep inhale. Exhale the palms right down through heart center. Step back, lower down. Inhale, press up. Exhale to down dog. Bend the knees and look forward. Inhale, feet come forward. Feet are together. Fold and relax. Inhale, swoop the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. And release. Separate the feet again. Step the right foot back. Bend into the left knee. Arms come up for Warrior One. Back foot is nice and flat. You'll tighten up the right thigh and use the right thigh to press the right foot flat into the floor as the hips turn forward and you're bending into that left knee a little bit more.
Inhale, straighten the front leg. Hands come around back. Grab opposite forearms. Firm up the thighs and press down into the soles of the feet. And then ease yourself out over the front leg. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhale, come up, bend back into the knee, and back into Warrior One. Hands come down to heart center. Twist this time, right elbow toward the outside of the left knee. Both feet stay flat. Twisting and turning toward the left. Release, back up into Warrior One. Big inhale. Exhale. Hands come down through heart center, down to the floor, step back, lower down. Inhale, press up. And exhale to down dog. Bend the knees and look forward. Inhale, feet come forward, feet are together. Fold and relax. Inhale, swoop the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands come right down to heart center. So go ahead and separate your feet. Relax the arms alongside the body. Close your eyes and begin to get a sense of your balance. You can shift the weight to the right foot, to the right, to the left foot, to the left a little bit, and then try to find the center there, and then back and forth, balancing the weight somewhere in between the heels and the balls of the feet. Knees are bent just a tiny bit. Arms are relaxing. Take a long, slow inhale. Long, slow exhale. And then we'll open the eyes up. Interlace your fingers now and press the palms up toward the ceiling and lift your heels up off the ground. Tuck your chin down in towards your chest and breathe. And then release the heels, release the arms alongside the body. So we'll take a look at the calf muscles in a little bit more detail now. And the next handful of things that we do will be specifically for the calves. So what I'd like you to do is point your big toes in toward each other. Hands come to the hips, and then you begin to do some heel raises here. You might even connect it with the breath. You can inhale the heels up and exhale the heels down. And then look down, and if the toes have turned back to pointing straight ahead instead of in, then just point them in a little bit, just for a few more repetitions. And when you feel a little bit of fatigue setting into the calf muscles, just see if you can squeeze out 2 or 3 more reps. And then we'll release here. And we're going to inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold forward and down. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step back into a high push-up and pause. And then come down to the knees, knees together, feet together. Sit back toward the heels in hero pose. So we did a nice warm-up with those heel lifts for the calf muscles. Now we're stretching the opposite side of that muscle group, the tibialis anterior. If you can keep your knees together and your shins on the floor and lean back a little bit, you'll get a little bit of an extra stretch across the knees and maybe even into some of the quadriceps, the thigh muscles. And then we'll begin to walk the hands forward. We're going to come into a downward facing dog and get in touch with those calf muscles a little bit more. So up and back into down dog. Shorten your stance a little bit by walking the toes forward. And then straighten your legs 100%. And instead of thinking about
pressing your heels toward the floor, try to think about drawing the tops of the feet towards your shins, decreasing the angle of the top of the feet in relation to the shins. Press the hips back just a little bit more. And then bend the knees, back down to the knees, knees together, feet together, and sit back toward the heels. So maybe there's a question, I'll just take 20 seconds of your time. Maybe there's a question about, what do you mean when you say draw the tops of the feet toward the shins? So when you're in down dog, your legs are like this. You're trying to decrease this angle here. So you draw the feet, you draw the tops of the feet toward the shins, like this. So what's going to happen? It's going to stretch your calf muscle a little bit more. So we'll come back and try that one more time, up and back into down dog. A little bit of a shorter stance to make sure that the stretch is definitely in the legs. Legs are straight. Press the hips back, and then instead of thinking about pressing your heels toward the floor, think about drawing the tops of your feet towards your shins. And then we'll come down onto the knees and we'll transition to seated with the legs out in front. So one of the easiest way to stretch the calf muscles is to just sit like this on the floor and press out through your heels, right? As you press out through the heels, the muscle on the back of your lower part of your leg, the calf muscles are going to stretch. So let's just try that here. Legs are straight, and then little by little you'll begin to press out through the heels, drawing the tops of the feet toward the shins, just like we did in down dog. It's easy to do here because the whole weight of our body is not pressed down on our hands and feet. And then you can relax your legs for a moment. So we're going to get a little bit deeper into the calf muscles now. You're going to need some sort of a yoga strap or a belt or a tie. Maybe there's a tie in a tie collection or something in the bedroom that doesn't get used anymore. They make good yoga straps. We've done this one a couple times before, but we haven't done it recently. So we're going to begin to set up in Janu Shirshasana A. So I'm going to draw the sole of the left foot to the inside of the right thigh. The right leg is straight, but to begin this, it has three parts to this stretch. You're going to bend your right knee so it's up off the ground. So when I look out at the group now who's practicing, half the people have their legs straight because that's the way they normally do Janu Shirshasana, but we're just setting up a Janu Shirshasana A and see if we can really stretch those calf muscles. So you're going to strap onto the right foot like this. You're going to keep your right knee about 8 inches up off the ground. If its leg is straight, it's not going to work. And then the only thing you're going to be concerned with part A here is taking the strap and dorsiflexing that right foot back. You're just trying to draw the top of the right foot as close as you can to the right shin. You can sit up nice and tall, and it doesn't feel like anything's happening right now, but we're just setting up the body and the brain connection so that we can squeeze a little bit more out of that calf stretch. Now, straighten the leg out 100% and set the right foot so that the right toes are pointed straight up toward the ceiling. Tighten up your right thigh muscle. And then gently press the right foot forward like a gas pedal, but pull back with the strap gently. Breathing. Now, relax everything for a moment. Good. Leg is still straight. Part 3, just pull the right foot back. Don't push the right foot forward. Engage the right thigh again. So all I'm doing is gently pulling that right foot forward like this, keeping the right leg straight, keeping the right thigh active. Breathing. And then you're going to release and switch sides. So part A, the knee, the left knee in this case is bent and it's way up off the ground. Even though it looks bizarre, Even though you say that's not how I was taught, blah, 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 just try it. And then sit up tall and you're just pulling, gently drawing the top of the left foot toward the left shin. And then slowly straighten out the leg. Point the left toe straight up toward the ceiling. Engage the left thigh. Gently press the left foot forward like a gas pedal in the car and pull back gently with the strap. Let the left leg relax now. Keep the left leg straight, keep the left thigh engaged. Don't push the left foot anymore, just pull it back. Back, 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 back. Breathe. And release. Now, shake your legs out in front. Press out through your heels one more time. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, relax everything. Good. Shake out your hands a little bit now. Shake out your legs a little bit now. Good. Let's take Dandasana pose. So the legs are going to be straight, toes point straight up. Try to sit up as tall as you can, and then hands or fists come right alongside the hips here. Begin to press your heels down into the mat. Keep your heels pressed down into the mat without moving your feet. Gently try to drag your feet away from each other. Let everything relax now. Take the soles of the feet together. Draw the heels in. Sit up really, really tall. Lengthen up through the upper body and then press the knees toward the floor gently. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Let everything relax for a moment. Now, I'd like you to bend your elbows and begin to bring the elbows forward. It's okay to round your back here. And see if you can get your elbows and forearms at least moving toward the front of your mat. Maybe even out in front of those shins. Pause right here. Press the heels into each other. Press the knees back down toward the floor gently. If you have further to go, use the leverage that you have here of the hands against the feet and point your nose towards your toes and then gently pull the upper body and head toward the toes. Nice and easy. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, let everything relax. Now, keep the feet together. Slide them out in front here so the legs form a diamond shape. Try to take the hands and slide them underneath the ankles. Now, if that doesn't work for you, just rest the hands on top. But if it works, slide the hands under. Look toward the feet, and then gently, slowly, draw the upper body forward and down. Don't force anything. Once you reach your limit here, just pause and breathe deep. Inhale, look forward, and exhale, come up. Now from here, straighten out your right leg, cross your left foot over, and then we'll take a twist toward the left-hand side. Tension comes back to center. Switch sides. Left leg straight, right foot crosses over, twisting toward the right. And then the tension comes back to center. Both legs out straight, so you can take your strap and strap both feet now. Toes point toward the ceiling, legs are straight, thighs are engaged. Sit up tall and lift the upper body out of the hips. And if you can keep the thighs engaged and you want to come forward a little bit more, hinge at the hips and engage the abdominals. Settling into your breath, following the deep breath into your body, and following the deep breath out of your body. And then we're going to release here. So I'm going to keep the strap handy and invite you to come down onto your back. And we'll do a couple of stretches that are complementary to what we've done here on our back with the strap. Now if you're super flexible and you can grab your big toe with your peace fingers and keep your legs straight and your arms straight and all that, that's fine. Go ahead and do that. I'm going to demonstrate it with the strap. So down onto the back, the right leg comes up in the air. You want to keep that right leg straight. So it's not about getting it as close to the upper body as you can, because in that case I have to bend my knee, but I let it come away and it's straight, and I'm gently pressing out through the heel, and I'm trying to keep that right thigh engaged, and that way I'm going to get the maximum stretch out of the pose. I'm also keeping the left leg active. Notice that left toes are pointing toward the ceiling, left thigh is engaged also. And then little by little, that right leg, that straight right leg, comes a little bit closer to the upper body. So settle in there with it. And then from here, what I'd like you to do is engage your left glutes. Keep your left glutes engaged. Take the right leg and just move it to the left about 10 inches. Bring the right leg back to center. Let everything relax here for a moment. Both legs relaxing. And then press out through both heels. Keep both legs locked out straight, and then pull that right leg just a tiny bit closer. And then go ahead and release the right leg. Go ahead and strap the left foot. Right leg straight on the floor, left leg's up overhead. Both legs are straight, both thighs are engaged. And you're pressing out through the heels nice and easy. Now engage your right glutes and keep them engaged. Take the left leg and move it over toward the right just a little tiny bit. And then bring that left leg back to center. Allow both legs to relax for a moment. And then straighten out both legs, engage both thighs. Draw the left leg just a little bit closer to the upper body. And then go ahead and release. So from here, we're going to draw the knees and thighs up and in toward the chest. Bring the head up off the ground and kind of squeeze everything together. And then drop the feet to the floor. I'm going to take the left ankle just above the right knee like this. And then lift the right foot up off the ground. Try to interlace the fingers behind the right thigh and then allow the right foot to relax down toward the floor like this. And allow the head and shoulders to relax. So let this be a passive stretch here tonight, or today, whenever you're watching this. Try to settle into it and relax. And if everything feels okay, you want to take it a little bit deeper without pushing or pulling anything yet. Just think about where your right thigh is and maybe shift or lean your right thigh to the right a little bit. And that might intensify the stretch without any more effort. Checking in with your breath, a long, deep breath in, and a long, slow, complete breath out. And then release the right leg and let the right foot come to the floor. Let the left ankle stay just where it is. And then you'll begin to allow the legs to relax over toward the left-hand side, keeping the legs in this position. And you can come over a little bit or you can come over a lot, depending on how your body feels. One suggestion I would make is maybe if you get halfway over or so, engage your abdominal muscles to counteract the stretch here. So abdominals are engaged, legs are relaxing over toward the left-hand side in this position. And find your breath. And then back to center. And the legs stay in this position, and then you'll allow the legs to drop over toward the right-hand side. Maybe that left foot makes it all the way down to the floor. Upper body's relaxing, back on the back. And then maybe engaging the abdominals here. And then opening up that left hip a little bit, so that left knee and thigh moves away from the upper body. But not forcing anything. Long, slow inhale, followed by a long, slow exhale. And then back to center. And now we'll unwind the legs and take it to the other side. So this time, left foot to the floor, right ankle comes up just above the left knee. And try to interlace behind the left thigh. Remember that left foot relaxes down, head and shoulders back down, relaxing. And then maybe to just subtly, without a lot of effort, intensify the stretch. Just take the left thigh and press it or lean it toward the left-hand side a little bit. And that might change the experience that you're having in the right hip area. Deep inhale, followed by a deep exhale. And then go ahead and release that left foot to the floor. And then you'll allow the legs to stay in this position but relax over toward the right. Engaging the abdominals, remember. Back through center, and then leaning or revolving over toward the left hand side, so the right foot perhaps might come to the floor, might not. Upper body's relaxing in the opposite direction toward the right hand side. Engaging the abdominals again. And then we'll come back to center, unwind the legs, and bring the knees and thighs up and toward the chest again. Head comes up off the ground. And then we'll make our way up to seated. Sitting up nice and tall, we'll take one final twist toward the right hand side. And then over toward the left. And then back to center. So bring your hands together at heart center, and we'll say Namaste, Namaste, Namaste. I'm David Breen from Sharing Yoga and RealLiveYoga.com. It's been my pleasure to share practice with you today. See you next time.